It sounds like a sports book. It's only partially a sports book. It's a story about two people who made their way through professional sports to be able to live a very comfortable life at the ages that we're at right now. But what it tells is our personal story of our bringing up, where we lived, how we lived, the things we encountered, our joys, our pleasures, our disappointments. So it's kind of a personal story. Vin tells his story about his growing up, which was really very different from my story of my growing up. I lived very well in a very comfortable surrounding. My father was a Wall Street man, very brilliant. My mother was a concert pianist, charming, and everybody loved her. She had just a warmth that exuded from her being, and I was really blessed. I think that one of my little stories in the book that might appeal to you is my relationship with St. Teresa, who I mentioned before. You know, Jewish people are not supposed to have Christmas trees, but Kitty would always get a little tree for me, and I would have it in my bedroom, and I would decorate it all by myself. And every year we would go to the 5 and 10, and I would buy one new bauble for the tree. And it was just a part of my childhood that brought me such joy, and her part of my life brought me such joy, that even I pray for her soul, because I know wherever she is, she's watching over me. And I'll never forget the people who helped me raise my children when I was on my own for the first time in my life. And I had to make a living and had to leave my children in the hands of different people. And I was always so grateful for their assistance and their help, and I pray for them. They are all long gone. And but the influences of our youth is with us throughout our lifetime. The people who were part of my childhood, they're in my heart and my soul and my thoughts always. And I know my prayers go on, and I say to myself, now you know, God, I understand that you are not directly listening to me, that you have somebody out there that has you have assignees, and your assignees are listening to different parts of the world where people are praying. And this sounds maybe very stupid to you, but I say this to myself every day, whoever it is that's listening, I hope you don't mind that I go on and on and on. But God has blessed me with a loving, caring family. I have 3 wonderful children. I have grandchildren. I have 2 great-grandchildren, the joys of my life. And all this comes because I believe that there is something bigger than what we are. So throughout our careers, we gave everything of ourselves to those who were paying our salaries, to those people who came to the various sports facilities. They deserved the best. They were helping me live the kind of life that I was living, that I had a lovely home that I could afford, that I could take care of my children if they needed me, that I could help them through the tough years. They no longer need that assistance. Now they're saying, what can we do for you, Mom? So I know that they were brought up with so much love as I was. I know how important it is to them to know that I'm here for them. And I have to thank God, as I do every day, through my emissaries, whoever God has appointed. And I hope that God forgives that I do ramble on and on and on every morning and every night in my prayers. But that's part of my life and the part that's given me the most joy. And I think a lot of that is because of my relationship with Vin. He's a very dedicated Catholic. My big joy in life is taking him to church on Saturday afternoons because he doesn't drive any longer. And I say to myself every week, I'm doing something good, I'm doing something right because it's bringing pleasure to his life. And those are the things that really are important to me. to doing right by the people that I know, that trust me, and that love me, and that have given me so much joy in my life. And this book says a lot about that through the first part of the book. Ben writes about his childhood, about his early experiences. I write about my early experiences. And then we get into the subject of how we arrived in the field that we did, which was professional sports. And all the things that we carried from our lives and from our backgrounds and from our experiences, we put into work, into a field that a lot of people take advantage of, a lot of other people in. We didn't do that. We gave the best that we had to offer to all these people. It was a source of enjoyment for them, and we gave 100%. We made sure that they were comfortable, that they knew we appreciated their business. We didn't take anything for granted. And we weren't about to let drugs enter our field. Vin was adamant. If he knew that there was a jockey who was working a horse to death, if there were drugs being shot into these horses, off they went. He did not allow them on our premises, and we paid a terrific price. Our lives were actually endangered by the fact that we absented from our people that raced with us and raced on our racetrack, that were dishonest. They were gone, and we paid a price for that honesty and to try to give the public an honest week's pay that they had to spend, that they loved coming to the racetrack. They were going to get the best of it, not the worst of it. And we paid a terrific personal price for it. And Vin can tell you about that a little bit more than I can.